Welcome back to Rudy's 1/6 World, this time for a 6th scale news video. Now, this will be the first in a weekly or bi-weekly series I'm hoping to have, covering some miscellaneous news from the 6th scale world and just going over updates on new releases and teases. So let's get right into the teases, with the first being CAD Bane by Hot Toys from the Book of Boba Fett. Now, if you've watched some of my first thoughts videos, I've been pretty honest about having stepped back from the Star Wars IP after Force Awakens. I also skipped on the Mandalorian figures. But having said that, I think I would definitely pick up CAD Bane. I think he was a highlight in the Book of Boba Fett, and even though he had a small role, and he just looks great. I like the Western gunslinger motif he has going, and he reminds me of The Bad from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with Clint Eastwood. So I think the nostalgia is definitely factoring in here and pulling me in. So we'll have to see how he looks when and if Hot Toys moves forward with him. Next tease is actually a little bit older, but it's the Hot Toys version of the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. I know this has been discussed to death in the community, so I won't focus too long on it, but I do own the Jazz Inc. version, which is a great piece, and seeing some of the teases from Toys R Us and the other third-party company, there have been some interesting features that each has, including light-up features for the thrusters and even, I think, electronically activated spinning features on the fans. So I'm curious to see what Hot Toys has to offer here. The Jazz Inc. version doesn't have much posability on the wings, so I'd hope that the Hot Toys would remedy that articulation to really make the figure dynamic as it was in the movie. Also curious if they'll look at more extensive light-up features and what else they'll have up their sleeve. I have no doubt that their version of the Adrian Toomes figure is going to be the best one, just because they are Hot Toys. And we know they've done a Keaton head sculpt as well, so I'm curious to see if they would add that into this set. Now, this was clearly a response to all the third-party releases, and they still haven't officially announced it. If you look at the Loki announcement, the classic Loki announcement too, which was a response to the So-So Toys version, it did take some time between preview and announcement. So fingers crossed that's what's happening here, and we'll actually get this version. Next up is the Bad Batch from Star Wars. I do appreciate that Hot Toys is looking to finish this line for those of you that have pre-ordered the other figures from this show. For me, one of the most unfortunate parts of collecting is when a line isn't completed, specifically when it's a team like this. So it's nice to see Hot Toys returning and teasing the whole team. And I like that instead of just different color variations on the armor, you have different accessories, and each figure really has a personality to it, standing out on its own, size wise and just accessory wise, and each one has very unique armor, so it definitely makes the set as a whole stand out from the Armored series packs. Finally, from X06, we have a preview shot of their upcoming 7 of 9 figure from Star Trek Voyager. I'm looking forward to seeing the full reveal for this one. X06 has definitely been on my radar, and they're going all in on Voyager, even to the point where I actually ordered the Janeway. I'm taking a chance and just trying to see how that comes out. I'm sure the tailoring on the uniform is going to be top notch, as all their figures have been. So ultimately, the question here is going to be, what does the sculpt look like? That's the one aspect of X06 that I'm hoping they improve on. It's the sculpts. They can be close, right on, or sometimes it even misses, but we'll see. Now, moving on to new releases, and man, it's been a busy week for Hot Toys, starting with the release of both versions of the comic book Iron Man. After what seemed like a slight delay due to some issues with the figure that Hot Toys seems to have sorted out. But I think they came out nicely, and if anything, I love the diorama display with the deluxe. I passed on both just because they don't fit in my collection, but they're out, so we'll see. Definitely shipping from Hong Kong, and we'll see if Sideshow gets them at some point soon. Next up, we got the release of Vision from WandaVision. Again, looks like a great overall effort from Hot Toys. I passed on this one just because I have the original version from Age of Ultron, and while I don't mind having multiple versions of the same character, there just wasn't enough of a difference on this one to make me reorder. I did, however, order White Vision, so I'm looking forward to that release. Next from Hot Toys is the 2-pack released from the Snyder version of Justice League, of the Black Suit Superman and the Nightmare Batman, and both figures look amazing. I'm a big fan of the Snyder cut, so it was great seeing Superman in his black suit, and if they had offered him in just by himself, I probably would have bought him. But I do have the original Nightmare Batman, so I just couldn't justify buying the set just for the black suit version of Supes. But a great ad for anyone that's looking to get both figures, and anyone that missed out on the original Nightmare version. And last up from Hot Toys is Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse, which has been a long time coming. It looks great, and I think just like with all the animated-based figures, Hot Toys nailed it. So for all of you looking to get this, he's finally out. Looks great. Another pass for me, unfortunately, just because I'm hoping the character will eventually make his way to the MCU, and I can get a live version for the collection. And finally, for you Star Trek fans, X06 is teasing the release of their Judge Q figure, so that should be shipping soon. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of the in-hand shots of this one, just because I think as far as head sculpts go, this is probably one of X06's best and the strongest efforts, at least from the promo pics. So it'll be interesting to see if that translated to the actual final production version of the figure. So that's just a quick update on some miscellaneous things going on in the 6 scale world. And if you're interested in some first thoughts on full figure announcements, or even some retrospective showcases on older figures, please subscribe to the channel as I try to post relatively frequently on figures that interest me. Also finally got the Battle Damage Mark 85, so I'm looking to do the first new figure showcase for the channel shortly, so be on the lookout for that. And if you're enjoying the content, please like, subscribe, and comment, and we will touch base on the next video.